Hey, Dan here, and in this video I'm answering a question about imposter syndrome when building your own business. How do you deal with imposter syndrome when building your own business? And also, how do you find the courage to promote yourself and your business when you're first starting out and still learning? So right off the bat, let's define imposter syndrome. If you were to look it up in a psychological textbook, imposter syndrome is actually when people have already been quite successful and feel like they don't deserve it and that they faked it or lied to get there. Now, the way 99% of people I talk to use it is more in line with a question. And so in this video, we'll address that, is when you're starting out and you don't feel like you're good enough, essentially, that you have enough experience, how do you then promote yourself and get clients and do things if you don't feel like you're ready to do things, right? I can see how this could be a problem. So one of the first things I would recommend doing, and this is an activity I often do with clients at live events I do, is remind yourself of past successes and times when you didn't know something, you took a risk, and then you succeeded. Or anything, like at some point, I can guarantee you did not know how to walk. You did not know how to speak English. You did not know how to kiss a member of the opposite sex or the same sex or both, whatever you're into. There are many things we don't know how to do, and then we're scared, and then we do them, and then we get better. And so just thinking back to those, you could even make a physical list, like write them down and go back to them. Thinking back to those can be reassuring because it's a reminder that, hey, I've not known how to do things and then I've done things and things have worked out. Where sometimes I find this especially true as you get older, it can be easier to start to think like, if I don't know how to do something, I won't be able to do it, even though that was everything you ever learned in your life. You didn't know how to do it first. So keep that in mind and make a list. I'd recommend starting there. So my second tip for dealing with imposter syndrome, and there's going to be 3 tips and then a bonus at the end as well. So I guess that makes it 4 tips. My second is get a mentor or connect with people who've done what you want to do or are doing so you can get a better guide to whether you are on track and what it takes to actually succeed. I've said this before in other videos, one of the best ways to stay on track working for yourself or taking on some kind of ambitious artistic endeavor is to have people in your life who've done it and that you can look to and say, hey, am I on track? Is this going well? And they can say to you, yeah, actually, you're better than I was at that point or whatever it is, and help you have that confidence to stay on track. So many people end up quitting early when they're actually way ahead of the curve, but they don't have any of that input. No one is telling them that they're doing well or they're on track, so they quit because they assume they're behind based on nothing, no real knowledge from anyone who's actually done it. The third thing I would say to do is focus on just the next step. So it can be easy to get overwhelmed sometimes, and I've done this before, but even though I've done it, when I hear it from people, I still kind of laugh a little bit, is I've heard from people like talking about making a YouTube channel, and their big concern is how will they deal with all the clients and just responding to all the different comments. When you get to that size, I think you'll find a solution. You're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. Let's focus on getting your first 100 views on your channel, right? And we all do this from time to time where we get way ahead of ourselves and then get really nervous. So thinking about, if I get a client, what if I can't deliver the work because there's something I don't know? So I guess I shouldn't promote myself and get any clients, and that's getting way too ahead of yourself. So the solution to this is always focus just on the next step. If the next step is to put your website up, do that. Don't think about, well, what will I do when I get a client? How will I figure out my taxes or this or that? Just focus on putting your website up. And then the next step after that. One step at a time is a great way to avoid overwhelm and also help deal with some of the issues around this imposter syndrome. Now, one quick thing, and then I'll get to that bonus tip. By the time you're watching this, I will have launched Dreamers Around the World, which is an online community I've been creating and testing for the last little while, which is actually a great place to connect with other entrepreneurs and be in a community of people doing things and to get some of that feedback and input and figure out if you're on track and all that sort of stuff as well. So I'll include a card linking to that, but we are not done here. And the bonus tip is to get desperate. I know, that sounds too hard, right? Getting desperate. Run out of all your money. Be on the verge of not having anything if you don't succeed. Sometimes though, a little desperation can really help. When you have all the time in the world, you have all the time to think about everything that can go wrong. I'll tell you, when I started my freelance copywriting business, I did not have time to think about all the possible problems that could happen 6 months later. What will people think about me? I was thinking, what will my stomach think of me if I don't get some clients and I can't eat? That led to action. So sometimes some desperation, or at least a little pressure and necessity to actually take action and do things, can be a very, very good thing. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, this is Dreams Around the World, and my mission here is to help you become the best version of yourself, all while creating the most awesome life possible for you and those you love. I publish new videos at least every week. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified of those videos. And in the comments below, let me know, have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? Is this something that rings a bell with you? Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video soon.